Hey everyone, this is Samlock24, and today I'm going to be showing you a deck with Blade Knight in it. It's a beatdown deck, and when it comes to the event, the whole the Kingdom event, I forgot what it was called, set sail for the Kingdom. I haven't really played at all. I haven't had the time for it. I have been playing or auto dueling the bots as I'm working, but other than that, I just really haven't had much time to do almost anything when it comes to that event. I still even haven't unlocked like the first little storyline of it, so I haven't even went into the event at all. Let's see, don't have anything new. All right, so the deck that I'm gonna show you today, it's really good, and I think you can use it for all the way to maybe Legend 1. The deck can compete with everything that's out there right now. The only thing that it has a little bit of trouble with is the Cyber Angels, but even at that, if you have an enemy controller, you kind of go ahead and just completely destroy it if they don't have like another Petite Angel or something else to summon another one like right behind it. But let's start with the list. I'm running two Dark Flare Dragons. Two card guards, and if I had a third one, I think I'd run a third one, but I don't have a third one, I just have two, so I'm just running two. Two Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, three Blade Knights, three Dark Blades, three enemy controllers, two Floodgate Trapholes, and of course three Mirror Wall, because it is a beatdown deck. So basically, the whole thing of the deck is to try to send light and dark monsters. And by the way, most of these monsters, except for the card guard and the dragon, are warriors. So if you don't want to go ahead and run restart, you can run Joy with the ability to start out with. I think it's Soga in the field. Don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure what it is. But when you do that, this guy becomes 22 whenever you have one card in hand, and this guy becomes 2,000. So it's totally up to you as to what skill you want to go ahead and use. I really enjoy restart, and that's the ability that I'm always using. I think the field spells are good, but they're just more of a win more skill, and they can easily be countered with a dispel. Whereas restart, once you restart, then that's it. If you have a bad hand, you can go ahead and restart and draw an entirely new hand. So that's why I'm using restart, but you can use whatever it is you want. So everything is either a light and a dark, and that's why I'm running the Dark Flare Dragon. Dark Flare Dragons can be special summoned by removing one light and one dark monster. So most of these cards, I think, well, no, never mind. Let's forget about that. I was gonna say something completely ridiculous, but anyways, if you don't have the card guards, go ahead and substitute them for whatever other beat stick you have, a Gaga Gigo, or whatever. But the deck can compete with Horus. It can compete with the Silent Magician level 8. It can compete with basically everything that's out there except for the Cyber Angels. If they are able to summon two Cyber Angels at the same time. If they're not, then you'll be fine. But overall, the deck it's not as fun to use as other decks because it's a basic beatdown deck, and that's just saying that you're just gonna go ahead and destroy everything that's on the field because your attack is gonna be higher most of the time, be it that you have Mirror Wall on the field or that your monsters are at least 2,000 or 1,800. For the Dark Blades, if you don't want to run the Dark Flare Dragons, you can run again Gaga Gigos. You can run Chiron the Mages. I mean, there's a ton of other stuff that you can run. You don't have to make the deck exactly like this. And one of the cool things about the Blade Knight is, let me read the effect to you just in case you're not aware of what it does. So while you have one or less cards in your hand, this card gains 400 attack, so that alone makes it 2,000. If you control no other monster, the effect of flip monsters destroyed by battle with this card are negated. So if this is the only card out there, you can go ahead and negate flip effects, and the monsters that they have are not going to be able to come back, or they're not going to be able to trigger. So it is kind of a little bit of a counter to Man-Eater Bug, Gale Lizard, Hane, and things like that. But let's go ahead and get into some of the replays, and that way you can judge for yourself. And these replays I am Platinum 4, so they're not really that high end. And I D-ranked yesterday from 5 to 4, and I was just trying some out of the box decks. and I was doing it in rank because I couldn't get anything done. And in casual, everyone was just quitting after like the first turn, especially when I had a good hand. They were just leaving, so I couldn't do anything, or I couldn't really test the deck that I was testing out. But that deck completely failed. I went into rank and I deranked, but that's fine, I guess. I do need to make some time to go ahead and try to get a King of Games, and I always say that, but I can never make the time for it. But I am gonna try. It's been, I think, like 2 or 3 seasons since I've been in King of Games, I think. So I do have to go ahead and at least try. Like I said, just can't find the time to do it. Alright, let's go. And it seems like they haven't fixed the server things where the game's still kind of slow. And I've noticed that while waiting for like a game, my screen is set to 30 seconds before it turns off, and it's taking more than 30 seconds to go ahead and get started in the game. Because my screen's been going off while waiting for the game to load. There's Card Guard, and Card Guard already comes out at 1900. And I set the enemy controller. Alright, Thunder Dragon. Alright, that's fine. I'm guessing he's running the fusion ability. I think it's fusion time. I'm not entirely sure if that's the name of it though. But whenever he takes like 1800 damage, he can draw polymerization instead of his normal draw. Alright, there's the Blade Knight. I'm at 2000. And I do protect him from him getting destroyed. Michizuri goes out, destroys the card guard, which I guess it's fine. Alright, he summons that twin-headed behemoth. I go ahead and attack it, and then Mirror Walk comes out. Alright, so I do lose the counter, but it doesn't get destroyed, so it's fine. And here, I'm not sure if this is a glitch or what it is, but the twin-headed behemoth gets destroyed and it doesn't come back. I think that's a glitch. I think they made it to where Blade Knight can just negate anything right now because of that glitch. But don't quote me on that. Or he might have just clicked that he didn't want to activate the behemoth's effect. Who knows? And there I can just go ahead and attack for game. And setting the blade knight was a misclick. I was supposed to summon it in attack mode so I can go ahead and attack for game. So I could have won one turn earlier. Alright, then the next one. No, I didn't even know what I cleared because of this lag that it has. Then this whole lagging thing that the game is like it has right now, it's super annoying. You end up clicking things that you're not even aware that you're clicking. Like for example, if I click something right now, it might click something else because maybe I've already loaded the other screen and you're still stuck on this screen. I hope that they fix that soon, or I don't know if that's just me that's happening to, or if there's a lot of you that are experiencing the same problems. But I've been experiencing this since they updated into the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX world, and I don't know if it's just that there's a lot more people playing the game, or what it is. I know for a fact that it's not my connection. I went ahead and tried several speed tests, and I do play Xbox Live, and I don't have any problems with it. I think it's the servers in Konami's end that are kind of. I'm not sure if they can't take all the amount of players that are logging in, or I just don't know. Alright, so that was unfortunate. I did know that he most likely had a rush or a wall, which it was a Horus deck, so I'm pretty sure he had a wall. It was fine because I do have a wall on my own, and I go ahead and activate it. And in order for you to be able to use the deck efficiently, you do have to kind of read what the opponent has. And you do have to kind of take cards out, like in this one. I do have another Mirror Wall, so I'm not worried too much, and I am trying to make him to where he triggers his back row a lot faster, and I do Floodgate Traphole that monster on the other ones. Yeah. So if you can't read what he has, don't attack. Otherwise, you're gonna be put in a bad position. But as long as you can read, and he surrendered because I guess he didn't have anything on the back, or maybe he took a call. Who knows? I don't think it was at a point where he needed to quit or anything. I think he probably just had to take a call, or maybe he surrendered straight up. Who knows? All right, and there's this Yami Yugi. And I think I need to find a better way to kind of test different decks out other than in rank. But I don't know. I think I just have to invite or make a room to test in to whenever I'm trying some crazy idea so I don't D rank. Alright, I went ahead and activated restart because I want to start out with two spell or trap cards, and I ended up not even getting a single one. So it kind of turned out to be like a little bit of a worst hand. I did get a Floodgate Traphole, which was fine. And I went ahead and attacked for 1900. And I think this guy, I think he bricks. I'm not entirely sure. Alright, so let's see. I go ahead and defend the Blade Knight with the counter. And he golden apples. Right, and when you activate golden apples, you want to always have it in or bring it out in defense mode, because then your opponent could just enemy controller and then attack you with it. He activates Mausoleum. Mausoleum pays 2,000, and he goes into a Floodgate. He's only at 500, so he decides to attack, and that's game. And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of the Mausoleum decks, is that they're super inconsistent, and it takes a lot of life points to go ahead and summon the monster that you want to summon. I think instead of Mausoleum, he needs to be using what's it called, a hero emerges, or whatever the card is that I was using yesterday with that Dark Magician deck. Alright, let's go. Come on, load. I just have to keep clicking on my screen so it doesn't fall asleep, because then my recording app won't work. But it does seem like it's taking at least 30 seconds for it to load. Or on some of them it does anyways. And you can see it in that I don't know if you can tell in the animation. It's kind of like it has this little jumps that it does, and looking at it, you can see that it's kind of slow. Attack the enemy controllers. That's fine. I have an enemy controller of my own. Oh, and he's actually using a somewhat interesting deck, but that deck doesn't work yet. It doesn't have enough support. It doesn't. You're just gonna D-rank with a deck like that right now. And he is trying to buff his monsters with the yellow luster shield, and I think he's running 3 luster shields. He manages to activate 2 of them, but again, the deck doesn't have enough support for it to do anything. And the fact that I'm running the Grandmaster Sasuke isn't helping him either, so even if he does get a monster that's high defense, this samurais are just gonna, or not samurais, but ninjas, they're just gonna go ahead and destroy him. But yeah, don't try a Ghost Trick deck right now. As soon as we get more support, I think it might be decent. But as it stands right now, that you just can't make it, or at least you can make it to where it's somewhat competitive. And there he surrenders, and that's it. All right, so the replays weren't that great, or I can tell you that it's not as fun to play with that deck as it is with other decks, because it's just a straight up beatdown deck. And most of the time, even if you're playing something interesting like that Horus deck, your end, it's gonna be kind of boring because it's just summon and attack or summon and wait. There is a lot of reading. You do have to read what he has in his back row. You kind of have to guess and try to think what they might have. But anyways, let me go ahead and show you the deck once again, and that way, if you missed it the first time, you can go ahead and take a look at it. There it is. You don't have to run the deck exactly like this. As long as it's something similar, I think you'll be fine. I think what makes the deck is basically the trap lineup and the enemy controllers. I've said before that you can almost always, as long as you run 3 Mirror Wall, 3 enemy controllers, and another 2 traps, it doesn't have to be Floodgate. That's really what's running the deck, and you can literally change or substitute any of those monsters on top of those tough monsters, and you'd still be winning games because of the traps and the spells. But anyways, that's going to be it for today. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. And if you're enjoying my content, I would truly appreciate it if you go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.